All right, everyone. President Trump is talking about the Iran deal. He's decertifying it and saying, well, back to the drawing board, basically. He's not throwing it out, but he's decertifying the deal, saying, okay, well, it no longer has full faith and credit, really, in its founding as a document. Now, I see the reason I think why he's doing this is his big thing about these deals is Obama was a shitty deal maker, and it is kind of true. I'll give him that one. And so all these deals have to be renegotiated so we can get a little more out of them. Now in Cuba, I have absolutely opposed renegotiating the Cuba deal at all. I don't really care. There shouldn't even be like a deal to end the embargo. We should just have fully normalized relations, say, okay, the past is the past. Cuba's irrelevant at this point. They're obviously not going to attack us. They're not a threat to us. Who fucking cares? Human rights abuses, the Castro brothers, now just Raul, I believe, abuse people. Well, so do the Saudi Arabians. We do brisk business with them. You realize how many billions of dollars they get in oil sales to the U.S.? We don't have a diplomatic quarrel with them every week. Why the fuck are you worried about Cuba? I don't quite understand it. Okay, they were communists once. They're kind of sort of a little bit still communists. Okay, well then it's fun tourism. You can see the land that time forgot. Who cares? They're not exporting it here. They're not doing jack shit to me. No Cuban ever tried to screw me over. Neither, by the way, did any Iranian. But Kim Jong-un wants to screw me over. Look, if worse came to worse, and Iran tomorrow said, yeah, we've got atomic weapons. We've been doing this in secret since the 90s, like Netanyahu claimed, and we've actually got like 100 atomic warheads. Bye-bye, Iran. Israel's going to nuke you off the face of the earth. You see, you've already got a non-NPT nuclear state in the Middle East. And it's Israel. And it has probably around 100 fully functional, fully modern post-megaton nuclear weapons. Some of which, they have nuclear triggers that they actually took from the United States, like as part of espionage. And the Pentagon released the report saying all this back in the mid-1980s. We're talking a long time ago. I wonder what new technology they might have concocted. You know, that rogue nuclear test that was not directly attributed to any state? Long ago, they're thinking it was like a joint Israeli-South African test. Actually, the one that happened, I think that was in the 80s, actually, if I remember, before South Africa gave up all of its nukes in its program. I think along with Brazil, if I remember correctly. I think they were working on it for a while, too. So non-proliferation won out in those cases, not so much in the Middle East, though. It wouldn't matter if Iran had 1,000 atomic weapons. They wouldn't be able to deploy them. The Israeli military would completely cripple their air power so they couldn't even deliver them. I mean, they would still have to get miniaturization. Now, here's why I'm not particularly worried. Like, North Korea, yeah, it's kind of worrisome. More for the Japanese or South Koreans than for the U.S., beyond, like, our Asian naval positions, or Guam or something. Here's why I'm not worried about Iran. From the time that Bill Clinton himself, gave nuclear materials to North Korea, to when they had their first atomic weapon is a considerably shorter span than when we know the Iranians developed their own energy-based nuclear program in order to get nuclear power. If they had intended to attain an atomic weapon, they would have done it long ago. We're talking, they would be past the North Koreans by now because they've got more tech, more people, many more trade relations, a hell of a lot more money. Their existing technology in other fields is higher. Iran would not take as long as North Korea did to attain that kind of tech. I'm sorry, they'd probably have 500 kiloton weapons by now if they actually had a rogue atomic or nuclear program. Yeah, they probably would, so why should I fucking worry about it? They're not even at the most primitive stage of atomic technology. And by the way, what would happen if they detonated? Even the Russians might not want to deal with it. For Iran, it's mostly about, hey, we're the biggest technical ally of the Russians in a military sense within this region. They need us. They need some of our resources. They need, honestly, a boost to their own manpower. They're providing us with nuclear coverage, basically. Nobody's going to haul off and randomly attack them, but if they were to develop a rogue nuclear program, several other nations within the region probably would immediately attack. The Saudis have atomic weapons from Pakistan on short order. They funded the Pakistani nuclear program in exchange for being able to buy warheads at a moment's notice. Basically, hold some of these warheads aside. We may need them. We'll pay you for them handsomely. You know, we've already paid for the whole program, so technically you should just give us these nukes. We'll pay you again a second time just to have a dozen atomic weapons lying around, so don't worry too much. Saudi Arabia would deploy them against Iran at a moment's notice. Probably Pakistan would help them. And by the way, so would Israel. I mean, it would be the raping of Tehran at that point. But here's why I would leave the deal alone. Right now, Iran is run by people who are more sane and secular than in the past. For a very long time, they were run by religious hardliners. They're currently run by people who are more akin to a center-right party. And that's a good thing as far as being able to negotiate with them. Now, I guess Trump's hoping, hey, if we start backing away from the deal, because it's run by more sane people, we can hammer out a better negotiation because they're going to want to keep it. Why would they? If they don't have a rogue nuclear program and they're under Russia's wings, what are we supposed to do about them? It's kind of like North Korea when North Korea had strong relations with China. Not a whole lot you can do about them. You can put some sanctions on them, but they're already not really trading with you. They don't care. The Russian sphere is better than the Chinese sphere in some ways anyway within that region. Iran would already have the H-bombs, certainly. If they had a rogue program, they'd probably have something even more sophisticated. They'd probably have the ability to fire nukes into orbit in a replication of Operation Starfish by now. They would be way beyond the early 50s technology that North Korea has. They'd be sitting on the edge of the 70s by now, I bet. So I just don't think it's the case. My worry is that the liberals in command of Iran right now will lose in the next electoral struggle, get replaced again by hardliners, and then it wouldn't matter if you've successfully negotiated or not. It could boil down to like a national pride issue. It could boil down to big bully U.S. issue. My worry is that if we go in there shouting and screaming about how evil Iran is, the hardliners will use that in their election. They take control, and whatever we have hammered out gets ripped apart, and they say, fuck off. And then we go back to square one. That's my worry. Now, in Cuba, you can wag your dick around more because it's like Cuba's irrelevant. They're right next to our doorstep, so a little bit different dynamics. I don't go to sleep worrying about waking up and seeing a mushroom cloud delivered straight from Iran over Rutland. I just don't, I'm not compelled to worry. I'd be much more worried about dick wagging after the Russians, which is what everyone else in D.C. seems to agree is a good idea, other than Donald Trump. A handful of more sane individuals joining him, most of which aren't even in office at the moment. They're the ones that are less warmongering. What does it benefit us to go after Iran? By the way, to anyone who thinks he's a Russian agent, Iran's one of the biggest bosom buddies of Russia. Don't you think that if Trump were under their control, he wouldn't want to fuck around with this deal? I wouldn't. I think it's a bad idea, but he's certainly showing his capabilities in dealing with Putin, who, as far as I know, doesn't like him very much anymore. Probably because he thought he would be a pushover, thought he was crazy. Now realizes that it's all part of his strategy, and I think Putin feels rather small next to Trump. I'm not going to lie. That's my reading of the situation. I think that Trump is eclipsing him in many ways, and he doesn't like it. He liked it better when Obama was president. He didn't have to like Obama, but he was like, you know, people rate me as way more powerful than this fucking loser over here in the U.S. because he doesn't know what he's doing. His deals suck. His domestic policy is a mess. Everything's screwy right now. Social alienation everywhere. If I were as bad as these Americans say I am, well, we already would have won Cold War II, basically. Now he realizes that he can't do that. Trump's actually considerably stronger on foreign policy than Obama. You don't see it yet, you will. You'll come to see it, don't worry. Don't worry. Germany's the next one that's already backing off. German Interior Ministry, what'd they come out and say yesterday? We need to work with the Americans. Don't worry, U.S. will still be there. Trump won't be there forever. Now, it's really just a cop-out. What they say is, hey, economically speaking, we get into a tangle with the U.S., we lose. We get fucked. The European Union falls right then and there. That's what they're worried about. They're worried we're going to start carving off more countries out of the EU. We probably should. If I were Trump, I would tell the European Union countries, say, you all need to have, like, Brexit-style votes. Yeah, you should. You should come partner with us. We'll give you better treatment. The EU is weak. They're incapable of doing anything. Oh, it'd be great. It'd crack Europe in half. Be funny, because then people like Merkel would be considerably weaker, and that means even over their own tyrannized populations. As far as Iran, they're run by liberals right now. I don't see a problem with Iran. When's the last time that they had a great big propagandist get-together, other than their yearly celebrations to say death to America, you know, bleed the Western imperial pig dogs dry or something. It's getting more and more rare. Really, they're almost more of a frenemy at this point of U.S. foreign policy. Because, you know, we can cook each other up as a boogeyman while not really intending to get into a tangle. And I hope that continues. The more countries that we're not at war with, the better. You know, let's not add Iran to the mix of Syria and Yemen and Libya. It's just fucking dumb. That's about all. Peace out.